This is no laughing matter. This is no trend. This is no moment in just right now. We're talking about long term.
A.A. Wilson just made a daring and surprising call-out that has shocked the WNBA. Following Caitlin Clark's unexpected victory at the ESPY, A.A. didn't mince words and took to the stage to criticize the league's decision-making process and allude to something far more profound. Now, rumors of a top-secret Adidas agreement connected to Caitlin's quick ascent are going viral on social media. Tensions are rising, fans are split, and the league's integrity is being questioned. However, what did Aya actually reveal? What is the true extent of this covert alliance? Let's investigate. Is it a popularity contest or recognition? First, let's clear the air. Because something important is being overlooked in the midst of angry interviews, viral tweets, and dazzling highlight clips. Indeed, on July 16th, Caitlin Clark was declared the 2025 ESPY winner for Best WNBA Player. However, before we get into arguments, let's keep in mind what that specific honor truly represents. It had nothing to do with her 2025 season. It was a nod to her historic 2024 rookie campaign. It was a year that brought the WNBA to millions of new viewers, broke attendance records, and revolutionized fan participation. However, this is where things start to become heated. Coaches, league officials, and even other athletes do not vote on the ESPYs. The fact that fans vote for them completely alters the rules. It implies that popularity, not necessarily performance, is reflected in the results. It's not a fault. It is simply a fact. And that fact becomes important when you think about who Clark was fighting against. Some of the league's most accomplished and reliable players were among her fellow finalists. Breanna Stewart, Nneka Agwemiki, and most significantly, A.A. Wilson. Additionally, Wilson had a season that was historically dominant in addition to being excellent. She was only the second player in WNBA history to receive the MVP award without a vote in 2024. Give that some thought. She was chosen by every single voter. In professional sports, such a deal is practically unheard of. Fans and even some insiders are naturally curious as to whether Clark deserved to be named the best WNBA player. Or was her standing as a cultural phenomenon simply too significant to ignore? It is impossible to dispute Clark's influence off the court. She increased media attention, sold out every stadium, and led in jersey sales. She provided a spark, but it is impossible to overlook the consistency, talent, and statistical supremacy that Aya Wilson offered. Our purpose is not to disparage Caitlin Clark. She is deserving of her flowers. Although she had an incredible year and significantly contributed to the game's growth, it's reasonable to wonder if popularity rather than performance was given more weight in the ESPY voting. And what message does that convey to the athletes who work tirelessly every day, compiling statistics and managing their teams? We're simply expressing what many fans are thinking. We're not setting clear boundaries. Although Clark won the prize, Wilson's season may have revealed more. However, what if statistics weren't the only factor in Caitlin Clark's victory? Was popularity more important than performance? Keep your eyes fixed on your screen. The moment everything fell apart, let's not act like this was solely about an award that was lost. During that season, something went wrong. It was loud enough for everyone listening to hear it. The statistics were truthful. More than 450 rebounds, almost 100 blocks, and more than 1,000 points. Dominance wasn't the only factor. It was a literary season. 2 championship rings shown next to a 3rd MVP trophy. The type of legacy that most athletes aspire to. Nevertheless, the current queen of the court did not win the fan vote, which is meant to represent the essence of the game. It was given to a novice. Indeed, the rookie was gifted, captivating, and even a fresh face that made headlines, and headlines bring in money, but she hadn't broken any records. She hadn't weathered storm after storm with her squad. Nevertheless, she was named the season's finest player by the supporters. A message that reverberated louder than any buzzer beater, not just a slight. We spot another person. At this point, the discussion shifts from data to perception and the subtle, nuanced reality of how athletes are viewed and who receives recognition. However, this is where chaos arises. The actual discussion was taking place somewhere else while league officials made polished comments and grinned for the cameras. In group conversations, in mysterious tweets, and in the growing cacophony of internet fandoms exchanging screenshots and theories. Was it a single vote, something more complex, marketability, favoritism, or a plotline that performed better with a different face at the center? Like wildfire, speculation spread, rumors of political intrigue, long-standing hostility, and devotion betrayed, possibly by the system itself, rather than by fans. Furthermore, being passed over wasn't the only thing that hurt the player who was left in the dark. It resulted from being rendered invisible after constructing the exact platform that another person now occupied. There were no pronouncements or formal confrontations, but to many, the silence spoke loudly. Because it hurts to lose a vote, but it hurts even more to be fired after trying your hardest. Particularly when the applause goes elsewhere even after your name is inscribed in league history. We must now wonder what will happen next, because a trophy wasn't the only thing at stake. It was about respect, visibility, and whether or not someone would speak up. The ensuing silence is still audible. However, what does it mean for a record-breaking icon to be praised but ignored? Keep your eyes fixed on your screen. Brands, hype, and the absent sneaker. Caitlin Clark was already a rising star in college basketball and a major force in the sport by the time her name started to light up sports headlines and social media feeds. Her influence went well beyond the hardwood even before she became a professional. Clark broke scoring records throughout her incredible time at the University of Iowa, surpassing both male and female players in the history of the state's basketball program. She was more than just an exceptional athlete. She became well-known throughout society. Her stunning no passes and breathtaking half-court shots enthralled both fans and commentators. However, her influence extended beyond just her athletic prowess. There was a bigger story developing all around her. One concerning brand deals, endorsements, and the elusive signature sneaker. There was a noticeable buzz. It seemed inevitable to have a signature shoe. Few people were aware, though, that while still in college, Clark had discreetly signed a non-binding contract with Adidas. At first, this appeared to be the beginning of something significant. Adidas, however, apparently had no immediate plans to develop a signature line around her, which was unexpected. This choice seemed strange, especially considering how well-liked Clark was. Her social media presence was astounding in and of itself. She had almost 4 times the number of followers of the most popular male NCAA player at the time, and more than twice as many as Angel Reese. The story then took a surprising turn. When Clark joined the WNBA in 2024, there was a lot of conjecture about which team would sign her. Nike had been a dominant force in her college marketing campaigns, leading many to believe it was a done deal. But in a surprising move, Adidas passed on signing Clark. Instead, she aligned with Under Armour, specifically joining Stephen Curry's rapidly expanding Curry brand. On paper, the partnership made sense. A rising star teaming with a rising brand. But the decision left fans and industry insiders asking why the sudden shift, what had happened behind the scenes. Even more baffling was the absence of a signature shoe. Not from Adidas, not from Nike, and not yet from Under Armour or the Curry brand. Despite the massive marketing hype and cultural momentum that Clark brought into the professional arena, there was no launch, no teaser, no prototype, and no official campaign, just silence. Naturally, speculation grew louder. Had Adidas lost interest? Had Nike gotten cold feet? Or was Under Armour holding back for a game-changing rollout? The truth remains unclear, but one thing is certain. A player of Clark's visibility and star power doesn't go unnoticed by sneaker companies for long. So, where is Caitlin Clark's shoe? Is it a delayed masterpiece about to revolutionize the market or one of the biggest marketing missteps in recent sports history? Fans and brands alike remain on edge, watching closely as this unfolding story continues to shape the future of athlete branding and endorsement deals in women's basketball. A.A. Wilson, Adidas, and the Silent Shoe Saga. It all seemed like business as usual in the world of women's basketball. High-flying stats, roaring fan support, and marketing deals rolling out like clockwork. But then the silence started to speak louder than the headlines. In early 2024, Aya Wilson was coming off another jaw-dropping season, her second MVP title, and one of the most dominant defensive runs the league had ever seen. Her name was on every analyst's lips. Her stats nearly untouchable and her leadership unquestioned. On the court, she was a powerhouse. Off the court, though, something major was conspicuously absent: her long-awaited signature shoe. Here's where the whispers turned into a wave. According to rising online chatter and unconfirmed reports from insiders, Wilson had actually signed a deal with Adidas nearly 2 years before any public rollout. 2 years.